Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Gentlemen's Dialogue. Today is Friday. As you all know, we typically do the podcast on Wednesdays and Fridays and sometimes Saturdays, sometimes Sundays. I guess it just doesn't really matter, but welcome to another episode. I am your boy Steve, and this is my sidekick, my right-hand man, Solo the Don. Solo, how you doing, my good brother?
Man, like you said, it's Friday. It's actually a nice day today. It's a little bit cloudy here in the A. And we've been I appreciate it, man, because I was in a different mood before we started filming, but we had some conversations we had off camera. It really helped lift my spirits up. So, and just in time for us to do this episode, man, so I can deliver what the people need and are looking for 100%. So, man, I appreciate it, and I'm good, man. How you feeling, bro?
Man, I'm not too bad, man. Worked out today.
Oh yeah.
And this morning, man, before I logged on to get some work done, and I must say, last night, man, I had some Blue Flame lemon pepper wings.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all
yes,
right, man.
sir.
They're not.
No.
Yeah, they're not what they cracked up to be, man. I mean, they're okay. Don't get me wrong, but all I've heard was the best wings in Atlanta are from the Blue Flame.
Okay.
They weren't. Yeah, they were, and maybe because I didn't go to the Blue Flame to get them, so maybe I didn't have them. Maybe they weren't as fresh as if I had been sitting there at the table getting them. But
I got you.
Somebody, man, dropped them off. Said, hey, man, try these, and yeah, they were all right, man. Yeah, I've had better from Wingstop.
I got you.
I
got you.
So no plug for Wingstop. And they weren't bad. I'm not saying they were horrible.
Okay.
But I just think that people have hyped them up so much.
Yeah. It's like, the quality doesn't match up to the hype.
Yeah. I remember your boy was the NBA player that got in trouble because during COVID he went and got some lemon pepper wings. And they caught him at the strip club, and he was like,
right.
He was like, I went to get some wings. Yeah. Hey, bro, you ain't supposed to be leaving the bubble, bro. You ain't supposed to be leaving.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, man, them wings must be good, bro. But you put a $200,000 risk of fine for that? Oh, like those wings must be good. But again, they were okay, man. So sorry, I digressed a little bit. And today, you know what, Solo, you brought up a good subject matter, man. You said that, you said, hey, man, and it wasn't even really a subject. You just said, man, we're having a conversation, man, and you made the comment that, we got to stop dimming our own light for others to shine.
Yeah, for real.
And you said that, and I was like, yeah, that's powerful, man, because that's a fact. We do that a lot, and I'll let you get it. I'll let you get us rolling and get us started, bro.
Yeah, man, because I remember, and this is so funny because I guess I have a better understanding of why therapists always want to go back to your childhood, because when I think about this subject, ever since I was a kid, like I remember it probably really kicked in around high school, but maybe late middle school, but growing up, I was a fortunate kid. I mean, don't get me wrong. My parents weren't loaded, but they did a good job at balancing, raising me and not allowing me to be exposed to the issues that they probably had while I was growing up. And I can say I'm pretty fortunate. I didn't get everything I wanted, but I had, a pretty decent balance. But my thing was it started with the clothes, because I remember, I started hanging out with some of my friends who weren't I didn't realize it at first, but they were less fortunate than me, because and to me it's like it was normal, right? I always, back to school came, I'd go back to school shopping, everybody would wear their best outfit the first day, but I remember it was one day I was hanging out with my friends and they was like, man, you know, one of them said, you always fresh, like you always wearing nice stuff. And I kind of heard the undertone in it, like when someone says something to you and they might you hear what they say, but you can tell that there
was no admiration, there was hate.
Right. And you can pick it up. And that's where I messed up at, man, because when I was younger, I don't know why that sat with me, because I kept getting these little comments, and then it came from my friends, and then it came from like some of my family members. And I thought about it and I was thinking to myself, like, man, you know what? I got tired of hearing it, because like you said, I felt that hate. And then what I wound up doing was I made the mistake of dimming down my light to fit in with other people, instead of just being who I am and standing out. And this happened longer than I'd like to admit, but it was always something. Like at work, I wasn't trying to outperform anybody. I was just working. But you know, people would be like, "Oh man, you trying to show up and show out, huh?" And it's like, no, I'm just working. I'm moving at my own pace. But then I started, you know, pulling back with my clothes.
So you're making them look bad in essence, right?
Yeah,
lazy cats that don't want to do anything. And you just you just doing just the normal amount of work.
Right.
They want to sit and chill, and because you do that, you make them look as if you're outshining them.
Right.
Yeah, then they get mad with you.
Yeah. So and it's just it was a spiral effect. It happened at work. It happened with my friends. I would go around some of my family members, and it really taught me. It really showed me the difference between how some people, even if you talk to somebody, like if you go to school with somebody or you work with somebody, you guys could be in the same place physically, but in other areas, you could be like day and night from each other. And I remember I started making adjustments, I started making changes, and then I started to resent myself, if that even makes sense, because it's like, what am I doing? And then it even got to the point where I would get some new clothes or something, and it's like, okay, well, I wouldn't even wear them until I would go somewhere by myself just to wear my new stuff. And it's like, okay, well, I know I'm not going to be hanging out with my friends or going around these family members today, so they don't got to say nothing. And that wasn't the right thing to do. And I just want to talk to the people out there, like if you can relate, or if when you're listening to me talk, if something's going off in your head, like, oh yeah, man, I bought this new car, but I didn't trade my old one in because my coworkers at work, I didn't want them to say nothing. Like, be who you are. Because when you dim your light down to try and blend in with other people, it's really, you're not hurting anybody but yourself. And at some point, I guess you have to understand that sometimes you are gonna outshine people. Sometimes, you know, you are gonna stand out in areas where most people don't, especially if you're different. I learned that even growing up. It's like, okay, the things that I do and the way that I move is a little different from the norm. And I'm not saying by any means that I'm better than anybody. It's just, I just think different. I tend to think more outside of the box versus inside. And people just, it's funny how your environment can have such an impact on who you are and how you do things. But just like how somebody can grow up in the hood, but then they wind up moving out because they know that that's not what they want for the rest of their life, and that's not what they want for their family and kids. Sometimes you got to think outside of the box so you can grow. And also, it's also a thing where you understand that it's a necessary change. It's okay to let people go so you can grow, like we were saying in the last episode, because it's not worth holding on to. It's not worth shrinking who you are to make everyone else around you look big, if that makes sense.
What about, so, you know, you talked about, you know, that piece, right? Mm-hmm. But what about the people that are in marriages or relationships where they are they find themselves dimming their light to match the dim light of the person that they're with. Right?
Yeah.
Because it happens. And a lot of times, and I especially see this with women who are successful,
Right.
however you define success, but successful, and they're with a man that has an ego problem.
Okay, yeah,
Right?
I got you.
She may make more money
Yeah.
than her husband,
Right.
or her boyfriend, or her fiance, right? And he can't handle that. So what she may wind up doing is kind of dimming herself just to protect his ego.
Yeah.
And I know it happens. I know this happens, and I had a conversation with a good friend of mine who is in a situation like this now. And what she actually did was she went back to school.
Okay.
Right? And when she went back to school, she got an additional degree.
Nice.
And so when she got this additional degree, at that time, the guy that she was with would every now and then make some sly comments like,
I hate that, man.
just because, so now you went and got another degree, so now you better than me now, huh? So it was kind of like that, right?
Yeah.
And of course that would always start an argument.
Right.
And then, of course, what would she do is she would dim her shine just to make him feel better, just for the sake of being able to discontinue the argument or the disagreement.
Right.
And so I see that, but I also see, sometimes even in the corporate environment, right? You're just doing your job. You're just doing you.
Yeah.
Right? You know your gifts, you know your talents, and you use them. And sometimes people work for, they have managers.
Right.
And these managers sometimes will purposely, they just F with you, right?
Yeah.
Because you're smart.
Right.
You may intimidate them with your knowledge.
Right. Yep.
So to keep the peace with your supervisor or supervisors or managers or whatever, you dim your light. So now instead of you being that person, because you may be that person that goes over and beyond.
Yeah.
Because that's just you, as we would call them in school, an overachiever.
Right.
But because you're an overachiever, it's making other people look bad. So then you stop overachieving just to satisfy the average.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So now you create an average atmosphere for yourself, even though that's not you.
Right.
But just to keep people happy and just to keep the peace, you will dim your own light. And again, something we talked about before, or you dumb yourself down to someone else's level just to make them feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Guess what? It ain't worth it.
At all.
If the person that you're with, or if managers or whatever, whoever we're talking about here, if they can't handle you, then maybe that means you've outgrown the situation and it's time for you now.
There you go.
You now have become the big fish in the small pond.
Yeah. Yep.
Maybe now it's time for you to change the pond and become the small fish in the ocean and feed your way and learn your way up until you become the big fish in the ocean.
Right. Yep.
And sometimes it gets very uncomfortable and it gets crowded when you're growing.
Right.
And the container that you're in is not growing. So I'm a fish person, so I use fish as an example.
I got you.
Many breeds of fish will only grow to the size of their tank.
Okay.
right?
Wow.
So you get, as we would call them, a red devil or Oscars or the striped Oscars, kind of, which are just we call it escape convicts because they look like a convict, right?
Yeah, I got you.
You can put them in a tank, and those red devils, you put them in a small tank, they will grow to just about the size of the small tank. You put them in a larger tank, they will grow to the size of just about that large.
Are you
serious?
serious?
Oh, they get big, man. Those fish get big, and they get little bitty baby teeth.
Yeah.
So you play with them, and you put your finger on the glass, and you hear them hit the glass. They literally have some baby teeth. So I said all that to say that, sometimes you have to change your surroundings.
Yes.
You have to change your environment. And sometimes you even have to change the people that you're linked up with because you are having to dim your light. You need to let your light shine bright.
You do.
Stop doing that. And you think about it, sometimes I remember growing up, man, I had a couple buddies, man. And like you said, I didn't come up in a wealthy home. But I had a family who loved me and made sure that I had everything that I needed.
Right. There you go.
And I had a couple friends that didn't, really have and like that. And it bothered them that I had a patch polo. For example, right?
For real.
Like a rugby, a polo, because that was really, really, at that time, man, that was a really popular wear for us, man.
Right.
You have your patch polo and your duck head khakis and either your Timberland shoes or Sebagos, or your penny loafers with a penny in them. That was just a style that we adapted,
right,
or adopted. And so that was just, and all the kids that I grew up with, that was just what we wore. But every now and then you had that one or two that, because they couldn't get that, they hated on you.
Yeah.
Right? They hate. And to this day, I remember one of the cats that used to always hate on me. He's still locked up, man. I think he's doing life, and he's a lifer. I can't. As a matter of fact, I think he's been locked up since he was 13.
God.
13. Went from there to regular, from juvenile to prison, or pre-prison, whatever it is, between the ages of 16 up to 18, and I think depending on the nature of the crime, then you go to the regular prison system. But anyway, and I look back on my childhood, and I look at and I'm just speaking of the guys who were like that, the haters,
right,
ones who they didn't really want anything out of life, but they didn't want you to have anything either.
Yeah.
When I look back at some of them, many of them, I have a few of them that are dead. A few that are actually, locked up, or have been locked up and continue to go in and out of the system. But I was one of those people that never felt like I got to dim myself for you.
Yeah.
It's up to me to say, I need you to catch up with me.
Right.
I need to try to motivate you to, hey man, let's get it.
That's real.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Hey man, standing on the corner, bro, sipping on the 40, bro, that ain't it. But then you had cats that when you try to talk to them like that, man, they're like, oh man, you think you better than me, man. No, I'm not, bro. I want better for you because I know that there's better in you, and I want to see you grow.
You just said a word. I want better for you because I know that there's better in you.
Absolutely. And sometimes it takes us from the outside. That's why we have to always encourage one another.
Yeah.
People need encouragement. Sometimes you need encouragement and you don't even know you need encouragement. And so sometimes it just takes a word. Sometimes it just takes calling up your boy again. Hey, bro, you all right? Hey, bro, today gonna be a good day, bro. I know you said you had a horrible day yesterday, and man, your wife is tripping, man. Man, the kids getting letters home from the teachers. I get it, bro. But don't worry, bro. Today is a new day.
There you go.
Always make today better than the last day.
Right.
And be fortunate, first of all, that you saw the next day.
Yeah, for real.
But you should always reevaluate everything that every day I sit down for a minute just to recall what happened to me the day before.
Right.
And talk and think about things that I would do differently. What decision did I make yesterday? Let's just say yesterday was Tuesday.
Okay.
What decision did I make on Tuesday? And now that I have time to really reevaluate what I did or what I said, what would I have done differently? And that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
We have to constantly reevaluate our lives. We have to constantly reevaluate every single aspect of our life. Let's not just reevaluate the things that we're comfortable with. Let's also reevaluate those things that make us uncomfortable.
Yes.
Right? Because those are usually the things that really make the biggest difference.
Yeah.
And it, it's kind of like, on Saturday morning you get up and you're like, let me go in here, man. I'm gonna scrub the toilet. Right?
Yeah.
It's easy work, right?
Right.
But you really know, man, I need to go out here and clean up this garage.
Yeah.
We will do every other little assignment versus tackling the one that we know it is the biggest assignment and it's the one that we need to attack. And I compare that to the problem. The problems that we need to address. Address them. Don't just take the easy problem. Take the one that is troubling you the most and address that. Figure out a way to find resolve. And if you do that, man, life gets better. Life isn't perfect. It
does.
It's not
really
perfect.
Does.
You live long enough, you're gonna see we're gonna have challenges every single day. It's not it's not if the challenges will come, it's when they're gonna come, because they're coming.
Right.
So we have to sit down and be prepared and again, reevaluate life. Life is going to throw some stuff at you that will make you want to quit, but you can't quit. You have to keep going.
Yeah, you do.
You got to keep going.
For real.
And speaking of, encouraging, if you're here, in the Atlanta area, I probably will think about maybe number of probably between 25 to 50.
Okay.
Single moms out there, if you have a little boy between the ages of, 5 and 9, 5 and 10, and you're struggling, right? The struggle is real, and everybody's struggle is different. But you have some single moms out here that are literally living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
And getting their son a haircut is not high on the priority list when the light bill is already 2 months behind.
Man, okay.
Right?
That's real.
And it's unfortunate that's where many of us are. You have to make the decision. That's why, you have a lot of people who are sick, but it's either I'm underinsured and I don't have the money to get the medicine that I need versus keeping the roof over my head. I'm going to keep the roof over my head and forget my health. Not because I want to, but I don't have a choice.
Right.
So if and again, it's the, first 20, 25, maybe up to 50. If you're right here in the local Atlanta area, and I'm not talking about single moms who have the money, and you're not the ones you getting your nails and your hair done every 2 weeks, but you're not getting your son's hair cut. You're taking care of you, but you ain't taking care of him. I'm not talking about that population.
Right.
I'm talking about the population of women who are busting their ass. There's no man. This man is not supporting his child the way he should be. He's nowhere to be found. He's nowhere around, and it's all on your shoulders. I have some guys over in East Point. Diaz Smith. It's him and his dad, Dion, own a barbershop in East Point called Corner Cuts. I've worked with Diaz for years now when it comes to working a deal out with him. He and I, we discuss stuff on the side, we get it done.
Yeah.
But he's going to an elementary school for me. He's going to cut hair at schools. Typically he'll do that kind of thing like on a Monday, which is the day that they're closed.
Right.
You know, but for him, he's like, okay, if I can cut 25 heads on my off day, let me make the money.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to say, hey, look, if you're one of those mothers, you know, email me at gentlemensdialogue@gmail.com. If you're in that, you know, Atlanta, East Point, College Park area, if you're familiar with Washington Road, then you can kind of guide to see if that, you know, if that's close enough to you. But reach out to me, and I'll reach out to my guy Diaz, and I want to be able to sponsor some haircuts for 25 to 50 young boys.
Yeah.
Again, I can work out the specifics with Dion and Diaz, but I can already tell you now, I don't even have to ask in advance.
Yeah.
He's a phone call away, and he'll say, okay, boss, I got you. That's what hey, I got you, boss, you know.
Yeah,
so he's a good dude, really, really good dude. But you know, you get the child there. And what I would like to do is try to arrange with them so that we get it all done on the same day.
Right.
You know, versus, you know, one child comes on Monday, on Tuesday, 3 come on Wednesday. I want to have because I want to make it easy as possible.
Right.
And I want it to be as organized as possible. So if I can, you know, I can arrange a day, and Diaz will give me the day, and I can let let the mothers know this is the day that you can bring your child to get their haircut.
Yeah.
All you got to do is just be there. Just get the child there. The haircut is covered. So again, you can email me at gentlemensdialogue@gmail.com and send me an email and let me know if again this is you know, boys ages 5 to 9, 5 to 10. Nothing, you know, none younger, none older. And look, we're not getting airplanes cutting your head.
Yeah.
We're not getting Bentleys cut. No. I mean, I'm serious, bro. I mean, this is I run in and mentor and talk to too many little young boys, man. They got haircuts, bro, with every design in their head, but don't know their alphabets.
Oh yeah,
Can't
yeah, I
count to
got you.
10.
Yeah.
I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Because that means we're putting too much emphasis on the stuff that really doesn't matter.
Right.
You know, so again, these will be, as I'll use the term basic and not normal, but I'll say basic because everybody's normal is different.
True.
You're gonna come in, Diaz is he'll fade you up, or he'll give you a nice even cut, line you up, temp fade you, all of that. But again, we're not cutting these crazy cuts. This is, you know, when children, especially boys, because kids can be so mean.
Right.
And so I want these boys to be able to get these haircuts. And when you look good, you feel better about yourself.
Yeah. For
you
real.
move differently when you feel like you look good. You move differently.
Yeah,
you do. It's just,
yep.
And that's for men and women. That's for men and women, and that's why you can see some of these women out here know they look good. You can tell because they move that way.
Yeah, right.
But that goes for children too. You know, and this is why we have to continue to support our young children. My projects, well, we specifically are working, trying to do what we can for young inner city boys, but children, period. They need help. They need our support. And I want to do my part, you know. So again, I'm not talking about not the mother that, you know, you getting child support payments of $5,000 a month, then you don't really need us to get a haircut for your child.
Yeah.
Not being in your pocket. I don't know what your expenses are, whatever the case may be. So don't think I'm judging you, but I'm just saying there are too many single moms out there that are not getting a dime of child support.
Right.
They're working their ass off, and still, when they get to the end of the day, they still don't have enough money to cover just the basic necessities for themselves or their children.
Yeah.
So, hey, reach out to me. We'll make sure that this is taken care of. As soon as this podcast is over, I'll reach out to Diaz, and also, hey, find out what day is good for him. Typically, Mondays are good for him. Again, those are the days he's closed. With enough children, he'll come and open the shop.
Yeah.
Open the shop. It's closed for regular customers. It would just be for the kids, right?
I like that.
Yeah. So again, it's stuff that we as especially black men, we have got to do more of. We have got to extend our hands out to our children to help them. We want to help them. You want to help them succeed.
Right.
And who better to do that? Who better to work with our young black boys than black men?
Right.
We got to get off our asses, man. We have to look. We just had an election, and the results, a lot of people were not happy. But at the end of the day, you are still, for the most part, in control of your own destiny.
Yeah, that's true.
For the most part,
right?
Doesn't matter who's in office. Because if you're grinding, guess what? You got to keep grinding.
Yeah.
Now you may have to grind a little bit harder. But this also goes and ties into something that we've talked about many times. You got to come together. This is where people of like minds come together and form businesses.
Yeah,
people of like minds come together and form nonprofit 501c3 organizations.
Yep.
This is the opportunity. This is the time that you have to pivot sometimes.
Yeah.
And make a different move. You got to Barry Sanders. You got to stop on a dime and cut left.
Okay.
At literally at the drop of a dime.
Yeah.
And that happens in life. So, hey, we didn't make many, wasn't as funny today. This wasn't a jokey joke, a podcast. This is, talking about something that is near and dear to our hearts.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, again, and look, if there, if there are any men out there and you're listening, man, and if you want to sponsor a child, get a haircut. Hey, man, forego that Happy Meal today.
Yeah,
Forego that number 3 or that number 6 at McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's. Take that and say, hey, look, we'll sponsor a kid. I don't, money won't go to me. It can go straight to the barber, corner cuts.
Yep.
Let's just say, Scott and Tony are brothers, right? And they need a haircut. If you want to sponsor Scott and Tony, let me know and we'll arrange that. I'll make sure that's arranged with the mother and the barber.
Yeah.
Just kind of the liaison. We just want to make sure that we help where we can help.
Absolutely.
And if we keep this trend going, we need to see this growing. It's like we need it to snowball.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We need a snowball effect of seeing black men get more involved with our young black boys. We have got to see this. If we don't, we're not going to change the trajectory or the trend that we're seeing now. We need to start showing them how to become business owners now.
Yeah.
At 5, 6, 7, 8. So during the summer, you and your little homeboys, guess what? Got somebody gonna sponsor, gonna buy you a lawnmower, buy you a blower and a weed eater.
Yeah.
Get you guys started in your neighborhood, right? With a landscaping company. Get you and your boys started. You're in a neighborhood where you guys can offer for $5, take some soap and water and clean all the neighbors, their garbage cans.
Yeah.
Once a month.
Right.
Or once every 2 months. Or whatever the case may be. Or you can, say, hey, not only, will we clean the garbage cans, but guess what? For $1 a week, I'll push your garbage can. Since I get home from school before you get home from work, I'll push your garbage can up to the side of your house.
Yeah.
And then, you can take it out back or do whatever you do from that point. But $1.
Yeah.
$1 is that's the best dollar that I can spend.
Yeah.
I'm supporting a young child in a business venture. I'm showing them how to be successful.
Right.
And I'm showing them a mindset that they can carry forward to where they'll say, you know what? I never want to work corporate America.
Yeah.
This isn't for me. I always want to work for myself.
Right. There you go.
You do that, we're going to be okay.
Exactly.
You know, teaching our kids how to open up Amazon stores, guiding them through how to have your Amazon store. And every time somebody goes on Amazon, they want this product. Guess what? That's your product.
Right. Yep.
That Amazon is storing for you. Amazon gets their piece, you get your piece,
Yep.
and everybody keeps moving. There are a million ways to make money.
Yes, that's so true. Yep.
And especially when you're dealing with our kids, most of those business ventures, they don't take a whole lot of money.
Right. They don't.
So, because, it takes money to make money.
Of
but,
course.
If some people come together and buy a lawnmower and the weed eater and all that stuff for some kids, it might cost us adults $20 a piece. Right. But we've invested in the future, the current and the future of a group of young boys or a group of just children in general.
Yeah.
So, again, that's just, sorry to just go on and on, but, that's just my spiel because I'm really, really, I'm adamant about helping our young kids.
Yeah.
That's where my passion is. My passion is working with young kids, seeing them succeed, seeing them grow, seeing them learn to make good decisions in life, good choices and decisions. That's what we are supposed to be doing as men, guiding. We should be leading, and we lead by example.
There you go. Yep.
But if they're not seeing the good examples, they're not being led. Who's leading them?
Yeah.
Our children need to understand you're the head, not the tail.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
So I want to teach you how to be a leader, not a follower. I see too many of our young kids out here in the streets. They're followers. Couple of knuckleheads. They do this, and then the other 4 or 5 decide, oh, hey, I'm gonna do what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then that's how that's how you wind up with now. They went from 2 bad kids in the neighborhood to 9.
Right.
Because these 2 had the influence because they were the leaders.
Yeah.
Even though they led in the wrong way, but they led. And then the others, they just followed.
Yeah.
Then when the cops get behind you because you stole a car, and they pit maneuver you, but Georgia State Patrol, they don't care about tolling out a car on you.
Oh, yeah, for real. Yep.
You 14, 15, you ride down 166. They pit maneuver you. Nobody had on seatbelts. Everybody got tossed out.
God.
4 kids. Nobody was over 16. That's what happens when there are no positive male role models around our children. I know I jumped subject, and because of that,
It needed to be said.
It needed to be said. Right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm wrapping it up. Solo, what you wrap it up for us, bro?
Yeah. So
I got on a tangent, man. You know me.
No, you good. See, I let you cook, man. I let you cook for a reason,
it's
bro.
All good, bro. I didn't mean to go on a tangent, bro.
No, man. They got to understand, like, this man is brilliant. I'm trying to tell y'all. And, to piggyback off of the subject is my biggest thing. While you were talking, I was thinking about the future, because similar to what you said, in order for us to change the future, we have to start. The past is the past, but what we teach and put in these young kids today, these kids are going to grow up and they're going to take the seeds that we plant in them, and things are going to grow from that. So the more that we pour into these kids and we teach them, positive things, and instead of going and stealing cars, you're going and you're learning how to build credit. You're learning how to, start businesses with your friends and make money and be productive citizens and make changes. My ultimate goal is to see the chain reaction, because, me and Steve, we're going to be doing things like, like he mentioned, he got the Stephen B. Ridges Project. We're going to be coming out with, we're going to make some moves with that. We're going to, organize these haircuts for these young boys and struggling single mothers. And we're doing our part, you know, like Steve said, to make a difference. But the one of the biggest things for me is I want other people to see what we're doing, and then they get motivated, because it you don't have to copy us, but you might have your own idea. Like, oh man, they're doing that, I want to do this. So then the next thing you know, when we start to see other people copying our format and doing what we're doing their own way, it's like, okay, yeah, it's working. And all it takes, it doesn't even have to be everybody, because, you know, unfortunately, everybody's different. Some people are going to look at it and say, oh yeah, that's nice. But I really want to reach out, and I hope that we can reach the people who are motivated to be like, okay, you're doing that, I want to do this. And then when we start to see that change, all it takes is enough people to get out here and reach these kids and show them a better way, regardless of their upbringing, regardless of where they're from. But it doesn't take a lot of time. It doesn't take a lot of money. But what you do for them today, they're going to carry with them in the future. And then eventually, you know, the way things are now, if we can correct it with the next generation, 20 years from now, we going to look back and it's like, man, a lot of these stereotypes are curving. I remember 20 years ago, I saw a bunch of kids, you know, walking around, hanging out, banging on stop signs and just doing mischief. Now they're starting businesses with each other.
Now they're writing code for ChatGPT and other artificial intelligence related companies.
That's real, man. Yeah, that's real.
Because it can be done, and because when you look at our kids are so into video games.
Yeah.
They understand video games. They understand how the technology works. We teach them how to channel that same energy into learning how to write code.
Yeah.
How to write script, how to be DBAs, whether it be for JD Edwards, Oracle. It doesn't matter. But we have got to get our kids involved more in the science, the math, and the technology.
Right.
They're being left behind. And this is where the world is going. If they don't get that, they're going to fall further behind.
Yeah.
You know, look at our, you know, you can look at some of the states and some of the test scores from our inner city schools. And again, what are they doing based on this? They're building prison cells based on the test scores from our inner city kids. Yeah. It's big business. It's big business. If you have 1.3 million 5 or 6 year olds that score well below, then they figure, okay, based on that number, based on this age, by the time they're 14, they take a percentage and say 64% of them will be locked up. So now they know how many jail cells to build during that time frame. And again, it's business, because now it's we're talking about the privatization of the jails, of the penitentiaries.
Right.
They're not we're not talking about the state prison. We're talking now about the prison that Sunshine LLC owns.
Yeah.
Not the Georgia State Penitentiary or whatever, you know, or the Florida or the Alabama or the California. This is now private.
Yeah.
You know, something like a Jeff Bezos can go in and get, or something, you know, like a Elon Musk can go in and buy, or just a regular corporation with, you know, 5 members that have the money to build a prison because they realize that we invest $5.2 million into this prison. When it gets filled up, we're going to make $5.2 million every 8 months based on the number of people that are in there. And we're getting that from the government.
God.
Well, the taxpayers. I say the government, but taxpayers funded.
Right. Yeah.
So again, We could talk about that for days, man. But
Yeah, for real.
I cut it short, man, because my neighbor decided to cut his grass. We got the window up, and the
Yeah.
neighbor decided, cut his grass. So, to keep that from being a disruption. But what I did not forget is, so, hey, it's the holiday season.
Yes, sir.
So, look, I talked about the 19 crimes.
Yep.
So, for those who are Prosecco drinkers, which are usually people who love also champagne drinkers, right? Let me tell you something. It's called Gemma de Luna. Comes in a green bottle that looks like the Tiffany's,
Okay.
right? You can get that. You need to get, also, it's called Saint Germain. I don't have it down, but it's up here on the shelf. It's called Saint Germain. You pour your glass of this cold Prosecco in your champagne glass, and put in about a fifth pour of Saint Germain.
Mm-hmm.
Saint Germain gives it a different sweetness.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mix those two
I like
up,
that.
and I promise you'll be putting those ornaments up on your tree in no time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But again, this is Gemma de Luna, and guess what? You can get this at Publix, and it's really it's I don't know, $11, $10, whatever it is. Yeah, but it's a really nice, crisp Prosecco. I promise you, you can't go wrong with this either. It's good, but make sure you get the Saint Germain. You got to mix the Saint Germain with it to give it that really robust flavor.
Okay, so as a listener, right? For the people out there, I'm watching this podcast. I see the bottle. I'm writing it down. I got the Saint Germain, everything. What's something that if I wanted to if I wanted to have a glass while I'm eating,
okay,
right? Like what's something that it would go good with, like a food would you pair it with?
So this is not even really something that I pair with a food. This is more something like if you just want to have cheese and crackers, or you want to have some fruit, you want to have chocolate covered strawberries. You can also you can have it with dinner as well. Nah, this right here, man. I normally, shoot, dude. I finished doing crunches, and then I pour a glass of this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I try to break the monotony of my either drinking Macallan or Blanton's. And a lot of times, you want to do something that's a little mild, right?
Yeah.
So I pour a glass of Prosecco, and I promise you, this Prosecco, I won't even say it's good. This is good stuff.
Got you.
This is really good. It's good by itself.
Okay,
But
I like that.
If you do me a favor, you see that bottle? It says Saint Germain. Hand me that bottle, because I at least want the viewers to see what the bottle looks like of this Saint Germain. So this is the Saint Germain, and this Saint Germain, you can find this. It's a liqueur. You can get this anywhere, but it's not expensive at all. Maybe this bottle may have been $7.99.
Oh wow!
But you can do, and they even got something called their Saint Germain Spritz. It's got champagne, soda water, lemon, and Saint Germain. So I promise you, these two together, it makes for a great just chill out, sit at the house listening to some jazz.
Gotcha.
It makes great for a good date night, something you're having a date. You might be having a picnic in the living room by the fireplace. This is you go to somebody's having a party at their house. This is something that's really good to take to the party as well. It's good. People are gonna like this. This isn't just something that you're gonna like. People are going to like this. So yeah, again, I normally do this in the beginning of the show, but I just happened to look down and I saw the bottle there. So hey, again, I don't get a thing from Gemma de Luna. I'm only telling you what I like and what I think you will like as well. So hey, with that, we're signing off for the day. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody.